Welcome to this explainer. Okay, we are unpacking a massive and honestly a largely unseen tectonic shift that's sweeping across the tech industry right now. We're looking at how generative AI is literally rewriting the entire architecture of technical documentation. It's fascinating stuff, so let's get right into it. Now, I want you to just listen to this stark question that's echoing through the industry right now. If AI writes the document, what is a technical writer for? I mean, when a machine can instantly draft something that used to take days, it completely forces a total reevaluation of the profession. The stakes here are incredibly high, both emotionally for the pros involved and operationally for the companies that rely on them. So, Section 1, the identity crisis. Let's look at what actually changed. Imagine two entirely distinct roles. On one hand, you have the identity of the past, the craftsperson. This was a warm, highly manual role where your value is tied directly to the physical, word-by-word act of writing. Now contrast that with the future, the architect. In this new visual model, the value isn't in the drafting at all. It's entirely in validating, structuring, and governing the flow of information. It's not just a new tool, it's a fundamental structural shift in how the job is actually performed.
All right, Section 2, the era of the craftsperson. Let's trace the pre-AI workflow.
Let's walk through this traditional, deeply human workflow. Step 1, writers hunted down subject matter experts. Step 2, they manually tested the product, reproduced errors, and built this genuine, hands-on, operational understanding. And Step 3, they drafted the content. It was linear, it was slow, but you knew exactly where the truth came from, because a human controlled every single link in that chain. And that meticulous discipline? That created the absolute gold standard for companies like Stripe and GitLab. I mean, their developer documentation is universally respected. But there was a major catch. Humans just don't scale the way code does. Getting a major release documented took weeks or even months because of these massive structural bottlenecks.
Which brings us to Section 3, the speed illusion, the AI shift.
So here is the reality of the AI shift. It completely obliterated the most notorious bottleneck in writing, the blank page. Poof, gone. The heavy lifting of draft creation, which used to consume the vast majority of a technical writer's working hours, was essentially solved overnight. The acceleration we're seeing is simply breathtaking. To put that into perspective, just grasp the staggering reality of this new speed on the screen here. First drafts, 30 seconds. Turning chaotic meeting transcripts into polished FAQs, minutes. Converting complex changelogs into customer-ready release notes, literally a single prompt. That is days of human energy compressed into the blink of an eye. Absolutely wild. Now, this sheer velocity birthed a totally new role, the orchestrator. Think about how Microsoft Azure evolved their teams, for example. Writers now delegate the repetitive structural generation to AI, and they focus their brainpower entirely on validation and high-level judgment calls. They're conducting the symphony now. They aren't playing every single instrument themselves.
But hold on, let's look at Section 4, Hidden Dangers, the serious vulnerabilities of AI. Read this quote with me. They are operational incidents. In high-stakes environments, when an AI tool invents a non-existent command or hallucinates a procedurally wrong step, it is absolutely not just a typo. It is a live, highly dangerous failure. Because the context of the error changes everything, right? In a standard product doc, an AI hallucination is an editorial annoyance. It's easily fixable. But look at regulated industries like healthcare, cybersecurity, or pharma. That exact same hallucination transforms into a severe compliance and safety risk. It literally triggers a massive operational incident.
So what do these hidden dangers actually look like in practice? Well, it's the fluent fabrications. AI inventing commands with total, terrifying confidence. It's the crazy paradox that healthcare teams now spend more time validating AI lies than they used to spend just writing the truth from scratch. It's the quiet content drift that softens critical safety warnings during revisions. And finally, it's a dramatic loss of traceability, where teams suddenly look around and have no idea where a piece of critical information actually came from. Okay, let's look at the solution. Section 5, Human-Governed AI Systems, the post-AI workflow.
This right here is the authoritative blueprint for balancing insane speed with absolute safety. It's championed by top intelligence and medical firms like Palantir. Step 1. AI generates drafts, but only from strictly structured internal source material. Step 2.
A human expert meticulously verifies the procedural accuracy against the live system. And step 3, strict governance metadata locks in the provenance. So the AI accelerates, but the human validates.
And this brilliantly illustrates a core truth embraced by companies like Twilio. AI simply amplifies the process you already have in place. If you plug AI into a weak process, well, you just produce dangerous garbage at light speed. But if you pair AI with a strong, visually clear, and disciplined human process, you produce superior, accurate output at massive scale.
Let's wrap up with Section 6, the architect of truth, the blueprint for the future professional. The modern writer has to master an entirely new technical stack. We're talking prompt engineering to steer the model, advanced validation, which, let's be honest, is now arguably harder than drafting, designing metadata schemas, and knowledge engineering so the AI actually retrieves real facts, fluency in docs code, and absolutely crucial AI governance and hallucination awareness to manage complex audit requirements. The job hasn't disappeared, folks, it has just become highly engineered.
So the core takeaway of this whole explainer is this. The baseline has been automated. Anyone, anywhere, can generate an average, passable document today for free. Therefore, the true value, the thing that separates excellent, safe documentation from dangerous, fabricated noise, lives entirely in the human judgment layer. Human verification, deep domain understanding, and careful information architecture matter more right now than at any point in history. Because the tools are only going to get faster and the sheer volume of generated content is only going to multiply. In a world where the baseline is fully automated, how will you architect the truth? Thank you so much for joining me on this explainer. Keep learning, stay focused, and I'll catch you on the next one.